I mean, everybody on the team works hard. Everybody wants to win.
And welcome to Sports on Tap. We're live from Z's Cream and Bean in Hinckley, Ohio. We're part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network. Go to neosportsinsiders.com. We have Josh, Jeffy, Ed, Dick, Rob Troutman up here at Z's Cream and Bean. And our first guest today, he spent 5 years as head coach at Berea High School, winning a district championship in 2011. He's in his third year as head coach of the Strongsville Mustangs varsity boys basketball team. Darren Collins joins us. And, Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
And you brought up also some a few players from your team, Jonnie Hopkins and Jacob Yezbak, who have had nice years so far. You know, it's early on, I guess, in the basketball season. But why don't you talk a little bit? You started off at Berea High School for 3 years. Talk about the transition over to Strongsville.
Uniquely, I've been coaching for this is my 23rd year of coaching, and I've only coached at these two schools. And I've gone back and forth in 5-year intervals at each school. But you talk about two schools that are contrastly completely different. But there are two schools where kids genuinely love basketball, and which makes it an easy transition, even though they are distinctly different. Love both of them, but I have to obviously give an edge to Strongsville because, I mean, I went there, walked the halls, I played there, been in the same locker room as these guys, played on the same floor. So there isn't a person that wants to win more at Strongsville than I do.
Yeah, and so far this year, you guys have really done a nice job transitioning from the last few years. You know, that might have been a little bit hard for you guys to now. You guys are 6-5 this year. Have been very impressive. Had some close games, as we were talking a little earlier. Talk a little bit about how your team has bounced back. You know, there was a Menor game where you guys lost. You know, 3-pointer at the buzzer that you guys lost. But after that, the last two games you guys have won. Right after that. So talk a little bit about how they bounce back, some of your players and team in general.
You know what? It really goes back to this summer, and it really goes back to last year where these kids, I think, are tired of losing, and we've played against some tough competition. But I really saw in the summer where these guys here became leaders, and the biggest difference is that they have adjusted and tried to change. They've completely changed the culture of the team. And there isn't a give up. And we always talk about you play till when the clock says zeros. And so games like, you know, learning how to always talk about you have to deal with success. And dealing with success can come within a game, being up 10 points or winning a game, and how do you deal with the winning streak. And so these guys have really the best group of kids that I've coached, where they understand the fact that, you know, you never give up. And no matter what happens in a game, no matter how difficult a defeat was, when we're coming back from Menor, it was probably the most complete game that we've played in the 3 years that I've been at Strongsville. And I heard Johnny in the back of the bus say, you know what, we're better than this. It's just one game. We see these guys again, and then we come back and we get a victory. We get a W. And so there's resiliency of these guys that's always been there, even when we were losing. We only won 3 games our first year, but here it's showing with the 2 years of getting destroyed have now come to turning these games into victories.
Johnny, talk about the culture change. I mean, you went through it as a player, you and Jacob both. How has that struggle been? And now you guys actually are 6-5. You're above 500. How has that transition been over the years for you as a player?
I mean, it definitely started, like Coach said, like previous years. I mean, those guys we were with kind of showed us how to battle adversity, and now that we're the leaders of the school now, we're taking it upon ourselves to play with each other, stick together as a team, and I feel like even our losses aren't really losses because we're learning. We're still coming together as a team and trying to build a brighter future. And, I mean, we're just trying to come together for every single game and get better.
Would you guys say that you're still building towards where you want to be? You guys want to try to peak out when the tournament comes? Or is this something where, you're working on, you feel good where you're at, and it's time to win league games? What's the end goal here, obviously, besides winning a state championship?
I mean, it's a step-by-step process. I mean, like Coach said, we'll win a couple games and, we'll take a step back with, the Menor game. So, I mean, we kind of got to set ourselves from where we're at. I mean, sometimes teams have peaks and valleys, so I mean, we just got to see where we're at and just kind of handle it from there.
Same question there.
I would agree with that. I mean, I think what's helping with our beginning peak is our chemistry with the five or six out of the 7 seniors we have. We've been playing with each other for a long time, so that's been helping with our streak in the beginning. We went through a valley, like Jonnie said, after that, but I think our adversity and what we know helps us with the comebacks and the setbacks.
Nice.
And talk a little bit about your off season. What have you guys done differently maybe this off season compared to the past few years, or a while back when you guys, probably AAU has been huge, it seems like now, or just playing in the summer leagues and things like that. What have you guys done differently in the summer to prepare for this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's the teams we play. We play Ignatius at Ignatius. I mean, it's tough competition. We need that experience for the teams we play in our conference. We don't have an easy conference.
No.
So, I mean, we need to know what to do against these teams. We need to know how we match up against them and just see what we can do. And it's good experience for this preseason.
Jonnie, same question for you. How was your off season?
I mean, I think this year people are really taking it upon themselves to get better. I mean, outside of just practice. So, that means in the gym, getting up shots every day. People came into the season ready to work. They wanted to win. They're sick of losing. So I think that was the difference this year, the main difference.
And, Coach, did you see that difference in the players in this offseason? Were they more committed maybe than previous years, or how did you get these kids to really believe in what you're teaching them?
I don't think it was that the previous kids didn't want to get better. I think it was just a combination of wanting success and what it takes to have success. And I thought as a program we got better each year, but at the same token, we want more. I mean, even the success that we have right now, we still want more. And I saw that in the off season, all the way back at our team camp at Findlay. Just the team bonding, the leadership that these seniors have brought is transcendent, and it's really the turning point of where this program wants to be. 6-5 is good. We're not satisfied with that. We're not happy with that. But, I mean, we could be better, and we're going to strive to be better. And it's the group of kids that started, 2 years ago that wants more. We just don't want to settle for moral victories anymore. We want to win games and just continue to get better.
No, Coach, I like to ask the coaches that we have on this question because it seems now, as we, from even our days, now sports and athletes are more individualistic. Like, what I mean by that is they're playing more so just one sport and that's it. How, as a coach, do you see that in your program? Do you see that at your school where kids are just kind of sticking to more just one sport? Or is it still a good mix of them playing other sports and along those lines?
You see a lot of individualism,
Not
individual
specialists.
sports, specializing.
Thanks, I
yeah.
appreciate that.
There you go.
Way to pick me up.
We've lost kids who, for one reason or other, wanted to focus on one sport. And you look at, the Urban Meyer and the kids that go to Ohio State are multi-sport athletes. And I'll never begrudge someone from playing another sport because I think it helps. You know, our point guard, Sean Askey, decided that he wanted to play football this year, and I said, I don't have a problem with that, but you know what? It has helped him this year being a leader on the floor. So I don't begrudge any of that because I think it goes hand in hand. Football, basketball really goes hand in hand. Just knowing how to compete and get tough and get after it, you know, in a clean way. You know, I don't have a problem with that at all. But it is a problem in sports today where people want to specialize, and to me, I think it's boring to just want to play one sport. But if that's all you've done, then fine, you know.
Yeah.
But there's like these guys. I mean, he plays golf, which is mental in that aspect too, and you know, he did play other sports in baseball and things. So I am all for guys playing multiple sports.
So, Johnny, when you're on the course, that's where you perfect. Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. You
Jacob.
play golf? Then I was going to say, Johnny, you should play golf then.
Yeah.
And then you can perfect your Kilbane impression that I want to hear today.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a Kilbane impression.
Oh, yes, he
Oh,
does.
nice.
So we've heard,
There
but
we
he
go.
doesn't want to do it.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kilbane's at practice now, so he's probably not listening.
Oh, but he'll
Probably
listen.
not.
to
He
it.
will.
This
We'll
will be
make sure
this will be
he'll
on
listen.
later.
I was going to say
Nothing to
these
worry about
shows
that.
are archived, so and we have his Twitter handle. We could send it to him too. I mean,
So, Jacob, do you have a Kilbane impression?
Oh, I don't. I'm
Well,
not
let's
very good at
work on it.
impressions.
No.
I'm not good at impressions.
You're not an impression guy?
I'm not an impressionist.
Do you have any
That's
other
all
ones
John.
besides Kilbane?
Just like coaches.
Well, whoever. Doesn't really matter, I
Oh
guess.
man. I'm not. No, I
somebody
can't.
said you had one
head.
for Coach Collins. Is
Yeah.
that
I don't yell.
Still trying to. I'm still trying to perfect that one.
Yeah, you don't want to let that
I'll
one out of
come
the
back.
bag yet, huh?
I'll come back with that one.
Okay, fair enough. There's the homework assignment there. Next time you guys are on, we need to get a Coach Collins
We
impression
have
from
to.
you.
Now, Jacob, we talked a little bit about golf. Why don't you tell us what's your handicap? You know, how you looking? I mean, what do you do now to practice and stay in shape with golf?
As of right now, during the basketball season?
Or
I mean, during the
any
basketball
time.
season, not
Yeah.
really. I don't even want to pick up a club during the basketball season, honestly. But
How about after basketball?
after basketball, it's
It's
the
on
range.
then.
My brother actually is he's a PGA professional. He has his certificate. So
Oh,
that's,
wow.
And when he's home, it's
it's on.
always me
Well,
and him
hey,
going to the range.
when he's
and-
home, let's get him on the show here. We can always talk
Oh,
to
he'll
a
love this,
PGA
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah, that's impressive. I know, like me and Josh, Ed. I don't know if you do golf.
Sure.
We try.
Yeah, that's what it's.
That's what you want to
You
call
know.
it.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent play usually, but you'll have that.
So guys, talk about the season, how it's going for you individually. I know, Jacob, you're averaging over 12 points a game, 7 rebounds. Johnny, 9.5 points a game. You guys leading your team. Obviously,
Statistically.
thank you, Ed, again. It's been one of those days, I guess. But you're leading the team that way, but it seems like you guys are also the leader when it comes to setting the culture that you're trying to. So how is that going for you guys just this season so far?
It is good, but I think it's mainly because we're the seniors, we're the leaders. We have to show
Yeah.
this, meaning that we lost a very high score. We lost Tanner Castora, so someone had to take over. Someone had to. I don't know. We have to have a couple players that get into double digits, and we actually last game we had 3 players in double digits, so that was really good. I mean, it didn't help as much as we thought it would, considering another player on the other team had 28, and that kind of that didn't help. But
A really good player.
That'll
yeah,
happen.
He was pretty good.
That'll happen.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, it's mainly the seniority and how we need
Cool.
to take over. And
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think about the schedule this year? I mean, you guys are really going from one tough conference. You guys were in the Valley Division last year of the Northeast Ohio Conference, and now you're in the Greater Cleveland Conference. I mean, it doesn't get any easier from a conference standpoint. You bring in a couple other teams like Elyria and Euclid into the fold. Talk a little bit about the conference you guys are playing in, and give us a little bit insight on that.
It doesn't. Yeah, like you said, it's still a tough conference. So I mean, every player or every team has their great players. So I mean, we're just trying to schedule accordingly to who we're playing. I mean, we do our studying. We're fair share studying, and we know the good players, and we try to play our defense accordingly. But it is tough. I mean, we're in best part of Ohio, so I mean, just gotta come ready. Gotta practice hard, and I mean, it's starting to show for us.
And it's early on in the season,
Absolutely.
so right now, like you said, you're learning. You almost really everybody makes the playoffs, so that's a nice thing. You guys can keep going and going. And the hottest team, like you guys did last year, you guys went to districts? You said.
Yeah, we lost in the district semifinals, and the one thing I thought that playing the schedule and being in a conference with all these teams, I mean, you can't rest, you can't sleep. But when you get into a tournament and your first couple rounds are against teams, no disrespect, but you're playing a conference that we play in, we're not fearful of any other team, and so that's what happened. Last year, when we played Brecksville and North Olmsted, both in their gyms, and playing in the conference, playing Garfield twice and Minter twice and Shaker twice, playing these teams was like, okay, we competed against those guys, so we can compete against these guys, and it showed. And we won the sectional championship, and we played pretty well against Ignatius, but Ignatius is St. Ignatius for a reason. So we lost in the district semifinals, but to get in a tournament and to win 2 games in a tournament, and that's a good thing.
No,
it was progress for us.
It was fun to watch, and like you said, that's why you never know. That's why you play the games, and as you get hotter towards the playoffs, that's the perfect time to really go to town.
Hey, Coach. We'll jump a little bit ahead to the playoff situation this year. I think if I'm not mistaken, they rechanged the way they do the districts again. So instead of you guys had the blended districts last year.
I got you.
There you go.
Districts.
Look at that. Where you had that choice of 1 out of 3 or 2 districts, and this I think they've gone back to just the single district. Is that how has that changed? Does that change any sort of approach, or is it more of a put whoever is in front of us and we'll play them?
Well, it completely changes a lot of things because it moved us to the Elyria Catholic District, and where it's more balanced. Any team, Lorraine is obviously in the forefront, but all the other teams, anyone could compete and beat each other. Whereas the other district that we could have been in had both Eds and Ignatius in it. So you're looking at the beginning like, holy cow! I mean, you got to see both those guys. But I'd rather be in a district where you have a chance to win and it's open, and if Lorraine is the best team, they're the best team, but we'd love to have a shot at them. But all the other teams in that district are capable of beating each other. But you know what? That's what the tournament is about, is make it fun. And what we do is, this point forward, is that we really focus ourselves. If we don't have a chance to win the league, you can still make your mark in the tournament and make some noise and have some success. Because really, what you're really judged upon is what you do in the tournament and how well you do in the tournament. And under those situations where it's win or go home, it's a lot of fun. And a lot of times you see the best out of kids in that tournament situation.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming on and talking with us. Good luck the rest of the season. We'll be following you, and hopefully we can have you on maybe before playoffs or after playoffs, after the season again, and recap the season.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
That was head coach of the Strongsville Mustangs, Darren Collins. Want to thank him for joining us, along with Jonnie Hopkins and Jacob Yezbak. Appreciate them coming into Z's Cream and Bean. When we come back, we have Jeffrey McCarthy, head coach of the North Royalton Bears varsity ice hockey team, along with the St. Ignatius hockey team. All coming up. We're Sports on Tap, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network.